Ah! Dropping everything. Don't worry, I'll save you. There we go. Saved him. Is this thing on? Okay. Hey, how's it going, everybody? And welcome to the season finale of Channel X. I am your host, TomDog247, and as always, I'm Tom Dog all day and Tom Dog all night. Ooh, baby, alright, so... Oh my god, I dropped the Hamburglar. I'm dropping everything today. Not my pants, they're staying on. I didn't go out tonight. So, Happy New Year. Quick apology before we do the shout outs and all that good shit. Quick apology for starting this episode late because of the fact that I have a bunch of lists, and it was a pain in the ass to make. It was a pain in the ass. And you will see why later on in the program. And I wanted to see the ball drop. So sorry. But we're gonna have a good show here today because it's our season finale. And before we do that, let's do the shout outs and all that good shit. Now that I did that apology. Big shout out and a happy new year to Absolute Talk with Josh Albert. If you haven't checked out his podcast, do so, because he has one hell of a podcast and you don't want to miss out on it. So check him out on iTunes. Download the Podbean app, which is where you'll find him. Or just go to absolutetalk.podbean.com. You'll find the links to all of his findings of his wonderful podcast, and look back at all the things that yours truly have been a guest on. And yes, I am wearing the unofficial Brill Pro t-shirt. There's only one in existence, and I'm wearing it. But don't worry, when we get to the new, and yeah, sorry if it's a little wrinkled. I'm sorry. I'm just not with it today. I have no idea this goddamn list. So yeah, check them out at absolutetalk.podbean.com. You'll check out the podcast. Do so. It's a wonderful, wonderful podcast. But that's not the only podcast you should listen to. And a happy new year goes out to Super Retro Throwback Reviews on the Dorkening. Give them a shout. Wonderful podcast. These guys are amazing. Happy New Year to you guys as well too. I saw your tweet earlier. You guys are amazing. Excellent moment of 2019. 2019 was getting to meet the Super Retro Throwback Reviews podcast. It was a lot of fun, and it was an honor to be a part of it. As a little guest on during the Halloween podcast that you did. So it was a lot of fun when I met you guys over at Horror Fest. So, but again, Happy New Year to you guys, and 2020, and it's going to be a rocking year. Also, a big Happy New Year to Vicky Van Goth, who I also met at Horror Fest. I guess now I can legally say last year. So, she has some amazing dolls and artwork and prints available on Etsy and eBay. You don't want to miss out on these. If creepy dolls and artwork and prints are your thing, Creep Me Out Creations has that for you. Vicky Van Goth is who you should check out on Instagram. Vicky Van Goth. And as I said, eBay and Etsy is the places where you can purchase her items that she has made herself. So Happy New Year to them, and a very Happy New Year to everybody over on my friends over on Facebook, Gamer Geeks and Gaming Pros and Fandom Life. You guys rock. You guys are awesome. Let's make 2020 a year to remember. And those who aren't checking us out, do so and tell them Tom Dog sent ya. And a big shout out and a Happy New Year to Melly Playful over on YouTube. Check her out. She has a wonderful gaming. She did a video I think earlier. I don't know. I have to go back and check. But yeah, she has amazing game live streams that she does. They're a lot of fun. Go ahead and check her out. And again, Happy New Year to you, Melanie. And a big Happy New Year to my good friends David and Marissa. Hope you have a nice, wonderful 2020. Yes. And I don't have any bubbly, but I do have the next best thing, and that's apple whiskey. So, here's to the end of 2020. I didn't even drink this, and already I fucked it up. Here's to the end of 2019, and here's to the start of 2020. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm kidding. All right. Happy New Year. Holy. Oh, boy. Ooh. That is strong whiskey. Ooh, boy. Thank God I'm not drinking any more tonight. So, don't get too worried if I start to pass out. The joke would have been a lot funnier if part of my arm wasn't in the shot, so I do apologize for that. Another apology, I forgot. I was supposed to do an episode on last Thursday. What has happened is that I had nothing to talk about. And I wasn't going to talk for a whole hour. Talking about Donald Trump's pissed off mood about his scene in Home Alone 2 being cut in Canada, even though it happened back in 2014. But we got Donald Trump here today, so he's already in a bad mood. Are you okay now? Are you over that that whole thing from that thing? Rabble. Okay, apparently you're still pissed off. Rabble. Okay. Now, Don, you have to remember that this happened back in 2014. Rabble, 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 rabble. All right, go calm down. Go get wasted. Okay. Go celebrate the new year by tweeting about it. Rabble, 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 rabble. Rabble, 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 rabble. Okay, relax there, Donnie. Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen. And even though you don't deserve it, Happy New Year to you, Donald. Rabble, 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 rabble. Okay, it's like I still don't look at you as a president, but okay. Alright. So, okay. So 2019 was a rocky road and everything like that. But we're not going to really talk much about that in this video today. I mean, we will in certain areas, but a lot of things in pop culture really stood out a lot. And so in you know, with 2019 coming to a close, or as a close, with 2019 closed and fresh out of our minds, I figured it would be best to do a top 5 best and top 5 worst in pop culture. And there's 5 different categories that I have here. Gaming, movies, TV, sports, and in music. And what I decided, because I was going to do the best first and then the worst last, after each one, is that I want to do the bad ones first, then go into the best. So, for example, with the, I'll do the worst in gaming first, then go and jump right into the best in gaming. Okay, so that's what I mean by that. So I'm not gonna do the do 15 and do the 15 worst, and then do the 15, do the 20, do the 25 worst, and then do the 25 best. I ain't doing that shit. Fuck no. No way. No way. So it will be too confusing as me drinking that whiskey and keeping it down. I'm kidding. I can keep it down. So okay. So I'm gonna start with the easy list that I did first, because this first list was actually kind of easy, so I figured I'd get that one out of the way, first, and that is the best and worst of gaming, and we're gonna start with the worst of gaming of the decade, and some of it had a lot. This was even though this was an easy list, it was still pretty tough to do because there were a lot of things. There were some things that were bad. Being the Wii U, the Xbox One launch, E3 announcement, but so those could be like honorable mentions. So So what I'm going to do is do the worst in gaming of the decade. And starting with number 5, something that just happened just recently, Blizzard happened. Apparently Blizzard, with that whole thing that happened with that one with that one gamer who got banned, which I do forget the guy's name. I'm sorry about that. You can come at me in the comments section. I do apologize for that. But yeah, it was that was pretty much their little bit of downfall for a while. But it did make some headlines in the fall of 2019. So it was kind of tough in that point, and plus also with the announcement of a Diablo game coming into mobile, which, to be honest with you, I don't have I'm still sticking my guns on this. That I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm still pre-ordered. I still pre-ordered it, and so I'm pretty good. And to be quite honest with you, it's it's something I'm really looking forward to, because I never played a Diablo game, and now's my chance. And it's a free game, so why not take advantage of that? So I don't have a problem with that, but I know a lot of fans do. But what can I say? But oh well. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have, oh well. Coming in at number 4, this was pretty tough, because I really wanted to put this in like maybe the top 3, maybe even the top 2, but Fallout 76. Come on. I think there's no discussion. It was buggy out. Buggy upon launch. A lot of issues going on there. When I finally played it, earlier in the summer of this year, near the fall of this year, I didn't really have any problems. Didn't have any problems with it. But then I stopped playing up until I found until the word got out that it was going to have a subscription service. And so yeah, that turned me off completely. So yeah, I'm going to be getting rid of that game really soon. Number 3, false leaks. And what do I mean by that? I'm talking about things that are clickbait worthy. And Mr. Boss for the win, I'm looking at you. And Cernando, I'm looking at you. And what do I mean by that? The biggest talk as far as clickbaiting goes, Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, games like Grand Theft Auto 6 that have no official announcement from the companies that make these games, whether it's the Grand Theft Auto series, or Rockstar with the Grand Theft Auto series, or whatever game they're going to come out with. Rockstar games have been a fodder for a huge gaming clickbait. It's like, oh, Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out. Oh, Bully 2 is coming out. But no love for Midnight Club? Come on. Come on. I actually want to see another Midnight Club game, to be quite honest with you. Because, next to Grand Theft Auto, next to the Grand Theft Auto series, Midnight Club is by far the best racing game there is. And it's like, you can disagree with, you can argue with me with that statement. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do like Forza. I do like Gran Turismo, and I have a little bit of a soft spot for Need for Speed. But to be honest with you, Midnight Club was the shit, especially Midnight Club Tokyo. You cannot disagree with me with that statement. Especially when they did the Midnight Club Midnight Club Tokyo dub remix. Come on, man. That was by far the best one out of that series. You cannot argue with that. I mean, this was Rockstar, who was more known to making violent games like Manhunt and Red Dead Redemption and Grand Theft Auto, obviously. And they come out with with some Midnight Club games, and they were the shit. Come on, no love for the Midnight Club. Come on. And you know what? I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm also a little bit disappointed in Rockstar, because when they brought in the arcade cabinets, for this new Casino Heist DLC, I was a little bit disappointed that the fact that one of the cabinets did not have a nod to Midnight Club. I'm talking about that racing game that they have, that off-road knockoff. That should have been called Midnight Club. Just putting it out there. Happy New Year. I love you. Rabble. Sorry, I was prolonging that one. But yeah, but these falsely, these, and especially with another Half-Life game, even though there were, fans were half right on it, they're just not getting that Half-Life sequel. They're getting a Half-Life prequel. Hey, better than not having another Half-Life game. Let's put that out there. Number 2, early announcements pre-E3, meaning before E3. This pisses me off, and past couple of years has upset me a lot, especially the one I did recently with the wrap up, with the E3 specials that I've been doing each year, which is one of my staples that I do. I'm actually looking forward to it for 2020. But this is the thing. This shit needs to stop. It's like, I want to be surprised at E3. Hence the word E3, because it's kind of like a preview, preview of what we're going to be expecting. That's why there hasn't been enough fan service over the past few years, because of the fact that all these big announcements, a lot of people knew ahead of time, and when they go and see the trailer, when they see the trailer again, this time at the E3 reveal, they're like, golf clap, golf clap, golf clap. That's what I'm talking about. It makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. So, and E3 is hurting. Has been hurting because of this. So if you want to have a good E3 for 2020, here's what you need to do: stop doing early announcements, and that goes for every single developer. Nintendo, I give you guys credit because you guys didn't do that at the 2019. You guys did your job. But Sony and Microsoft, I'm looking at you. And the number one worst thing in gaming of the decade is microtransactions. That shit needs I mean, it's good for for a certain amount of games, but come on, you're paying 60. It's like for a $60 game, and you're shelling out microtransactions. I'm sorry, but you need to go. I'm sorry. Grand Theft Auto is a good, is of course a very good game. We'll talk about it later. So is Red Dead Redemption 2, but the microtransactions in there is kind of lackluster, and but I still shell out $20. Whenever I want to, I don't do it religiously, but hey, maybe it's because I don't want to do glitches and get caught by Rockstar. I'm just putting it out there. Mr. Boss, I'm looking at you. So yeah. So, all right. So here were the best moments in gaming for the of the decade. And starting with number 5 is a new genre that we were introduced, and that is in the form of Battle Royale. Now, games like Fortnite and PUBG are and of course Apex Legends and yeah, I guess that's it. Are really doing well for themselves as far, but none is better as Fortnite, because these free to play games. These free to play games. Okay. These free to play games have microtransactions, but they don't shell it out like all the other games do. I know that's microtransactions done right. And to be quite honest with you, but the Fortnite is amazing. I do like Fortnite, even though I suck at it. Which I am working on a spoiler. I'm working on a new show for my channel for 2020, and that's Tom Dog Sucks at Fortnite. So, yeah. But yeah, it's technically a new genre, Battle Royale. Some will say it's shooters, but Battle Royale is what a lot of people are referring it to. And so, I don't have a problem with it, and it is a moment that got a lot of people gaming. And without Battle Royale, we wouldn't know who Ninja is. And of course the esports is kicking ass, which is an honorable mention, by the way, because esports was a huge thing in during this time. So yeah, it's something that that needs to be explained. And so yeah, thanks to Fortnite, leading the way, we want to have something, this game that basically was beaten by just recently got beaten by Minecraft as far as YouTube videos go. Okay. Coming in at number 4 is the Xbox Gamers Pass. Now, the ultimate post E3 launch of the Xbox One, Microsoft that had some pretty good years, not as good as PlayStation has, which we'll get to later. But Microsoft actually, Xbox One actually is a pretty decent console. Not gonna, here we are, we're coming out with a new Xbox console coming out in the holiday of 2020. Releasing with the launch of the new Halo game. And so yeah, it's something that needs to be discussed because of the fact that um after that mess that they picked up after E3 saying that it was going to be all online, that you would and that Connect was going to be mandatory, which they admitted that, which Phil Spencer himself admitted that it was a mistake, and picking up the pieces and actually throwing in some stuff that that was worthy. For example, backwards compatibility. That was a thing, and now because of the Xbox Gamers Pass, we can for a low monthly fee, we can subscribe to the we can subscribe, and we can download the games, some games for free, and play via the cloud. And it's something that PlayStation 4 failed to do. And there's no there is backwards compatibility, but not as good as how Xbox did it. How there is one thing I have to gripe about, is that there's not enough love for Xbox Original. I'm just saying, not that much of a love for Xbox Original, because I want to play PsyOps again. That was one of my favorite games. Just putting it out there. Not saying there's nothing wrong with Ninja Goddamn Black, but I'm just saying, I want to play PsyOps again. But, with a lot of the games that you can play for free, Xbox Gamers Pass is, the Xbox Gamer Pass Ultimate is actually the best thing for you, because not only could you play on your console, but you could play on, but you can also get it on PC as well too. So it exists with both PC and console. So you get to play together. Yeah. So yeah. Oh man, I'm slurring my words and I'm not even drunk. I'm not. I'm just like red. It has nothing to do with this light, because with the red light that's on my blue ball. My blue microphone. This thing. Love ya. Love blue microphones. You guys rock. I can't wait to get the Yeti. Maybe I'll do an unboxing. What the hell is it doing outside? Well, at least it ain't thundering like it did last night. That was crazy. Okay, number 3. Rockstar Games. I put this out there because Rockstar Games has had a success, had a pretty good 2013 with Grand Theft Auto 5, and they're still kicking ass even in 2019. 2020 is going to be looking good for them too, in spite with some false information that Mr. Boss wants to put out there. Fucking asshole. But yeah, Rockstar Games has had a pretty good from 2013 to today. They've been having a very good excuse me, 6 and 7 years, 6.5 years. So they've been doing pretty good, pretty well for themselves, and not only that, Grand Theft Auto 5 is still the highest selling game of all time. So, I mean, it broke numbers. It broke numbers. And and people got pissed because it beat Call of Duty. Well, boo fuckity who. Camping days are over. So coming in at number 2 is Nintendo. They had a pretty rocky pretty rocky start of the decades with the with Wii U, which was supposed to be a successor to the Wii, and since lack of advertisement and third-party support kind of shut down Wii U, they were hurting. But thanks to the Switch, it kind of redeemed itself, and it showed that it was a damn good console to go through. Being the only home console slash hybrid on the market, and it showed really well. Plus Nintendo breaking out some games for your mobile devices. One big notable mention is Mario Kart World Tour. It's a good game. A lot of people are complaining about the microtransactions, but I don't invest in the microtransactions. I mean, yeah, I will admit that I have the subscription service that they have, which is $5.99. I mean, I really don't care. So it just gets a lot of perks that that you can't get if you were just doing the regular one, and I have a soft spot for it. So, and even though say what you want about the game, I do like Mario Kart World Tour. I really do. And of course, but ever since Nintendo Switch came into the market, they've been kicking ass. They've been really doing well. As far as numbers go, they actually beat Xbox One. The original Xbox One, as far as most consoles being sold. So that really says a lot. You got with Mario Odyssey and Pokemon Sword and Shield, and of course Mario Maker 2, which is kicking ass still, and of course the one that their still most popular game is Smash Brothers Ultimate. So yeah, this really says a lot. And so yeah, Nintendo is actually really doing well for themselves, and is glad to see them back. And plus also, I don't want to put this on the best, because it was sad to see Satoru Iwata pass away, and of course Reggie Fils-Aimé retiring last year. I think in 2018. So it was pretty sad. Actually, no, 2019, in April 2019. So it was pretty sad to see those greats go, and but Shigeru Miyamoto still stays on, and but yeah, Nintendo really had a really good decade in the middle. And coming in at number 1 for best gaming in the decade is PlayStation. And you can say whatever, you can say what you want. They did have a rough start, especially with the that whole thing that happened with the with the console with PS3, but the PS4 and onward actually redeemed itself, and see what happens with the PlayStation 5. But ever since the PlayStation 4 came out, they've been breaking a lot of records, especially the fact that it's the most selling console of this generation. So that's actually very, very good. Not sure if it broke a lot of numbers, and they're still breaking numbers even as I speak. And not to mention that the fact that they just celebrated their 25th anniversary, which is another Another um, accolade and everything like that. So for Sony in 2019 in general, PlayStation 2019 in general actually had a very good year. So um, kudos to that. So okay, now on to movies. We're gonna start with the worst of movies in the decade, and this one is going to be no different. Because starting with number 5 is something that we need to discuss. The Sonic the Hedgehog trailer. Now, I'm not talking about the one that just came out just recently. I'm talking about the original the first trailer that came out during the summer. A lot of it back in April. I defended the trailer, and you can go back and watch that episode. It's still one of my favorite episodes, by the way. Where I talked to where I stated my case about about what I thought about how Sonic the Hedgehog looked and everything like that. I still stick. I still stand by what I say. By saying that I have a bit of a soft spot for the trailer, so I kind of like that idea. I kind of like that design. I mean, it's different, and it's something that I can get used to. Even though, as a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog in the past, I kind of have a bit of a soft spot for that. To that, humanized concoction that they brought up. So, but we'll talk about that in the we'll talk more about the later. But yeah, I still have a bit of a soft spot, and I kind of still stick to my guns on that. And you'll know why when I talk about it again later. Number 4 is the DC Cinematic Universe, which is the opposite of the MCU, which is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This was not a good year. This was not a good decade for DC to try to compete with Marvel. Don't get me wrong, Aquaman and Wonder Woman were both very good. I still haven't seen Shazam yet, but I do have a bit of a soft spot for Suicide Squad, but as far as Batman versus Superman leading up to the Justice League, I'm sorry, I was just disappointed that we could have had something unique, and because of that, I was just not invested. With it, and that's just how I feel. I'm hoping that that they can reboot the cinematic universe and still keep Wonder Woman and Aquaman in there, because of the fact that it's just something that should be fixed, because I want to see the DC universe succeed. I don't want them to financially go under. Hey Gabe, how are you? Happy New Year to you. But But yeah, so yeah, I do have a bit of a soft spot for the Suicide Squad, which of course they're getting a sequel, but I, I, I don't want to. I just don't want to see it fail. And you know what? Wonder Woman was a good movie. So was Aquaman, and Wonder Woman's getting a sequel, which I'm looking forward to seeing. Wonder Woman 1984, which is going to be awesome. Um, I hope, you know. Um, I just don't want them to hit that curse. But from what they're bringing to the table, it's turning out to be a good one. Turning out to be a good one. Now I'm kind of cheating on this next one, which is coming in at number 3, and because this just came out just recently, and that's the movie Cats. There's been a lot of. I've been reading the box office numbers for Cats. I haven't seen it because I go by box office numbers, and when I read the box office numbers, Cats did not do well at all. Um, in 2019, I mean, the fact that it was finally going to be made into a major motion picture, based off of the Broadway hit musical in by Andrew Lloyd Webber, which was huge in Broadway, winning countless Tony Awards. One of the best Broadway shows of all time. And if you haven't had a chance to see it, find a video that has it, because it's something you do not want to miss, because it's one of the greatest. It's one of the best. I still have a VHS copy of it. But if you can find it online or on demand, by all means, do so and watch it. That is my huge recommendation. But having said that, I haven't, I have not seen Cats. I mean, I'll probably go and see it just to see what the hell, what the fuss is all about. But to be quite honest with you, this isn't looking good. And I was just reading too on Twitter that Universal, because of this, Universal Pictures lost a lot of money. So let's hope in 2020 they can pick it back up, because they got Peacock coming in. I don't know if it's going to be next year or the year after. I don't know if it's going to be in 2020 or in 2021. There's no word on it. All we do know is that is going to happen. That there's going to be a streaming service. God help us. Why can't they just work with Netflix, seeing as how they're run by Comcast? I don't know if their license went up or something. I don't know. But still. Number 2, the Emoji Movie. Now, I did see this movie, and it was not one of my great ones. It was not one of my favorite animated movies. It was not. I saw that. I was actually, at first I was kind of like, you know what, this looks good and everything like that. It looks interesting. I might check it out. And then when I finally saw it, thank God I didn't see it in the theaters, because I probably would have walked out. But when I saw when I finally saw it on popping up on Netflix, I said, you know what, I'll give it I'll watch it, and just to see what all the fuss is about, because this was the worst animated movie of the decade. So so that says something right there. So yeah, those who see it, I feel, I share your pain with you. Those who didn't see it, don't. That's all you got. That's all you need to know. So, number 1, I'm kind of cheating on this one, but it does have something to do with movies in general, and that's Oscar snubs. and that's at number one. There, recently we've been seeing a lot of movies and actors and actresses getting overlooked at for the Academy Awards. One year in general where a lot of good movies that were starring African American actors did not get the credit that they deserve, and I agree. I agree that there was no love whatsoever by these wonderful actors and actresses that put their heart and soul to some of the movies that they were playing in, and they got snubbed. And they weren't the only one. Lego Movie was supposed to be nominated for an Academy Award for Best Animated Feature, but they got snubbed as well. So, yeah. So, yeah. Just putting it out there. So. Okay, so here now is the best in movies of the decade, and coming in at number 5 is going to be very controversial, but I don't give a shit because it's my list, not yours. And that is Ghostbusters 2016. Now, I know I'm going to hear a lot of arguments on this one. Oh, this movie sucks. Fuck that. My Ghostbusters supposed to be men, not females. Stop with the misogyny. With the sexist bullshit. Okay? Because I'm not gonna lie, when I saw this in the theaters, I loved it. Go back to the review. Go back to my very first movie review that I've ever done, and that really sums up how I feel. Not only that, I sent out a tweet to Paul Feig himself. He liked that I was going to review it. I don't know if he saw it. If he did, all power to him. But to be quite honest with you, I do have a bit of a soft spot for Ghostbusters 2016. You can hate it, you can not hate it, you can love it, you can hate it, but there is one thing that we can all agree on. The movie was a hell of a lot better because of the fact that Ecto Cooler made a comeback. You cannot argue with that statement. Now, when Ghostbusters celebrated their anniversary 2 years prior to the 2016 reimagining, they had a chance to bring back Ecto Cooler. 35 years of Ghostbusters, they still haven't brought it back for the anniversary. Not to mention that this is the 30th anniversary of Ghostbusters 2, and there was really no love for that movie either. And not only that, there was also no return of Ecto Cooler for 2019. All we got, if I can get my hands on it, here we go, was a remastering of the Ghostbusters video game. It's one of my favorites. However, it's not really that remastered because I'm telling you right now, the graphics still look the same. I'm just putting it out there. But trust me when I say this, I know what I'm talking about. But because of that, the 2016 marketing of Ghostbusters was great. They brought back Ecto Cooler. They brought out some Ectoplasm Twinkies, which were really, really good. Those were my favorite. Um, Krispy Kreme donuts, which I'm pissed off the fact that there's no Krispy Kreme donut in Connecticut. And don't say Mohegan Sun, because I'm not going all the way to Mohegan to a goddamn casino just to get some goddamn donuts. Just to get some Krispy Kreme donuts. I don't live that close to the casino. Otherwise, it would have been a hop, skip, and a jump. Fuck that. But because of Ghostbusters 2016, it brought back my favorite Hi-C drink, which turned me into a fat fuck, and that is a fact. Hi-C Ecto Cooler. And 2020 in July is going to be a good month for Ghostbusters because the third Ghostbusters movie is coming out. So bring back Ecto Cooler. You hear me, Hi-C? Bring back Ecto Cooler for this goddamn movie. Just putting it out there. Jeez, I almost put this away. Coming in at number 4, Star Wars Episodes 7, 8, and 9. Now, you can hate... again, there's a little bit of controversy in this one because Last Jedi, and especially Rise of Skywalker, received a little bit of a backlash because of one of the characters, one of the side characters, if you will. But I don't care. I had a bit of a soft spot for all three of these new films. Not to mention Episode 9, which gave me a nerdgasm. So I'm not going to spoil that. I'm not going to spoil anything in this video if you haven't seen it. But if you haven't seen it, why the fuck are you not seeing it? I'm telling you, this is a good love letter, and to me, it's a good love letter to OG Star Wars fans. I'm just putting it out there. This was the bona fide movie you needed to see, and I loved the hell out of it. If you don't believe me, ask my friends Marissa and David; they'll tell you, because they were sitting right next to me when I had my nerdgasms multiple times. Coming in at number 3, Lady and the Tramp live action reboot. Now, when the Disney Plus launched, and we'll get to that later, they also launched the live action Lady and the Tramp movie, and there was huge hype for this movie because of this. Because this was a movie that they used rescue animals with, which I loved. There was a little bit of switch, some changes, which one particular change I didn't mind. One kind of while the other one I kind of questioned. For example, by now everybody's seen it, so not Rusty, but the Scottish dog. I forgot the name of the. Excuse me. I forgot the name of the dog. Jacques. Yeah, Jacques. Now in the animated version, that was the name. In the live action one is Jacqueline. So yeah, that kind of gave out the confusion. So it was actually a woman dog. So that was my only gripe about it. The change, and I didn't mind that they changed that they changed the Siamese cats, because in the animated version we all know that it was insensitively racist. So yeah, but I didn't mind this live action version of the Siamese cats. I had no problem with that. It was actually very good. Um, Coming in at number two, Sonic the Hedgehog, the second trailer, the 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 fixed version. After receiving a lot of backlash from that first trailer that I talked about earlier, this one was the better version. And looking back at at this newer version of Sonic the Hedgehog, it actually looks very good. It actually looks good, and it looks really good. I will admit to that. I do admit to that, but still, I'm still sticking my guns about about that first trailer, and how I still still liked it, and I have a bit of a soft spot for it, but this one, I'm actually glad that the fact that they listened to, that um excuse me, that the producer of this movie actually listened to the fans. So yeah, it was a very good idea for them to do so, and so there is a lot of love for this trailer, and when it comes out on Valentine's Day, which I am gonna go see, um, it's actually going to be very, it actually looks really, from the trailer. I hope that this breaks the curse of video game movies being terrible. So yeah. And coming in at number one, which is absolutely no surprise, is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, they've had a pretty busy year since 2011. Since back in 2008, but but coming into the new decade, which is 20 from 2010 onward, they've actually started kicking ass, and especially um with the Infinity War, and Endgame, coming out, that came out. It was a good version. So good, in fact, that it broke a lot of records. It's actually the highest grossing movie of all time. Um, which came second. Which Spider-Man: Far From Home came in second. But it's the highest grossing Spider-Man movie of all time. So you cannot argue with that statement either. So with that being said, the Marvel Cinematic Universe actually did very, very good in the decade. And even though we lost Stan Lee last year, he actually gave us something unique. He brought his creations to the big screen that no other comic book company could ever do. Not even with that Netflix show, The Umbrella Corporation. Um, with which is a good show. Which is a good show. which is based off of the Dark Horse comics. But let's put it this way. DC could have had something, it could have been a really good successor. However, they're doing that on TV. You got, you have Arrow, you have The Flash, Supergirl, Defenders of Justice or whatever. And then you got the Arrowverse coming out with Brandon Routh coming back as Superman. Which that's really good, but nothing compared to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because they were so amazing. They were really, really amazing. And with them getting bought by Disney, and we'll get to that later, Disney has just been making tons of money. They really have, and you can't deny that. You cannot deny that, and it's all thanks to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So they made their money, and everybody's happy. Everybody is, and especially the fans that saw these films. And I still cry. at Endgame. I'm not spoiling that movie either, but you know why. Some know why. Okay, now movies is out of the way. Now we can get right into television. And this is where I started having a hard time with this list, because this was a pain in the ass to make. This was a pain in the ass. So here we go. Worst in TV of the decade. Coming in at number 5, 2.5 Men, post Charlie Sheen. Now, I know that that after 2000, I think it was 2008 but we're talking about the closing season, which came, I believe, a couple of years after. That was bad, and it just started going downhill. And then the series finale of 2.5 Men, on the very last episode, everybody thought that Charlie Sheen was going to come back. It turned out to be a shitty ending, and that episode totally pissed me off. That I was not happy about that episode. It could have gone on a good note. Kind of like, just kind of bury the hatchet a little bit, just so that this one episode can get through. But no, the director or producer, whatever, still had a bit of a grudge against Charlie Sheen, and he did what he did, and that's why it was one of the most shittiest episodes of 2.5 Men I have ever seen. And the less I see, it meant not the, it was kind of lackluster. Anyways, because when I did see, when they brought in Ashton Kutcher for 2.5 Men, I believe it was in 2008 or 2009 or 2010. I forgot which. But it was kind of, I was like, really, I was like, really, this was ridiculous. So I don't know, but anything with Charlie Sheen, with any episode of 2.5 Men with Charlie Sheen in it was fine. Any episodes without Charlie Sheen in it, those are the episodes you need to stay away from. That's just my opinion. Um, so yeah. Okay, coming in at number 4 is DirecTV. Now, the reason why I put DirecTV involved because, of course, this has something to do with TV. Now, DirecTV, as of late, has been becoming more of an asshole, and a lot of you non-DirecTV subscribers will agree with this because of the fact that um, a lot of they're making it difficult for other companies like Comcast and Telemedia having a hard time doing with Time Warner and Comcast. They're having they're trying to still keep these contracts with some of the cable with some of the local channels. Now, I'm from Connecticut, unfortunately, and I'm kidding. But what really pissed off a lot of customers, and I happen to be one of them, is the fact that some of the local channels were going to go away, and like your local news. Like here, we would have we have News Channel 8, WTNH, and WFSB. There, and of course NBC Connecticut. They are struggling. They were struggling for a little bit, in 2019, that because of DirecTV wanted to take over, they were making it very difficult for non-subscribers to watch their favorite stuff. For example, if you wanted to watch something, if you're a fan of soap operas, like my mom is, and she she watches General Hospital, you wouldn't be able to see that thanks to DirecTV. And the only way that would have happened, so that the only way to watch now, without the use of Hulu, for example, if you wanted to watch, excuse me, wanted to watch General Hospital, you wouldn't. DirecTV is saying, "Oh, you won't be able to watch it." The only way you would be able to watch General Hospital, is you subscribe to DirecTV. Now, I don't like DirecTV. I really don't. And at my job, their subscription service, which is DirecTV, is terrible. Because if there's a nasty storm outside, guess what's happening? You ain't watching nothing on DirecTV. I'm just putting it out there. So yeah. That's number 4. Number 3, MTV. This comes at no surprise because of how much I hate MTV. A lot of you have heard my gripes about MTV in the past. For example, the abbreviation, the initials of MTV and what they stand for, which is Murders Television. And they brought in, it's supposed to be music television. The M doesn't stand for music anymore, because there is no music on MTV anymore. And so it could be millennial television. I don't care, but they don't really signify what the M stands for. So, but they brought in Skins, and of course you got Teen Mom, and I'm 16 and pregnant. Ooh. Catfish. It's fucking horrible. This is and then they brought back Jersey Shore. Why? It was fucking horrible. But I was glad to see that show finally leaving, and then they brought it back, and then it left again. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It's like MTV, just fucking die already. I'm being serious. You know. You had some great shows back in the day, and now Kurt Loder and Tabitha Soren can't find fucking work. For real. Okay, coming in at number 2 is Simon Cowell. Thank you, Howard Stern. Simon Cowell actually had has um has proven out how much of an asshole he really is, and not too long ago is a perfect example of how much of an asshole he can be. And so yeah. And Gabrielle Union actually exposed you. So, Simon, go fuck yourself. Okay, coming in at number 1 as the worst in TV in the decade is Netflix. Now, this was really tough for me to put on this list because I really didn't want to, and you'll know why when we get into the best. But this recently, I actually, of course, I talked about this in an older episode about, because of Disney Plus coming in and how much it was going to be and when we were going to get with the subscription service. Netflix has struggled, and they're struggling now because of Disney Plus. And I don't know what Comcast and NBC Universal is doing, but I don't know if they're pushing Netflix aside and dropping their contract. But I'm telling you this, folks. I kind of called it. So I hope everything turns around. I hope everything turns for the better for them in 2020. I really do hope so, because I do like Netflix and some of their stuff, and you'll know why when we talk about the best in TV in the decades. Coming in at number 5, The Longest Jeopardy Champion. I did forget the guy's name. Let's see. Let's go to my my buddy here. Let's see. What the hell is this guy's name? How's that? I know I apologize for prolonging this. I apologize. I apologize. Come on. hell? Damn it. I'm gonna have to Google that shit now. I apologize, folks. Oh, James Holzhauer. I guess that's how you. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Is it James? Okay. I'm kidding. But no. So yeah, he did a very he did a very good job. Um. And he basically just went out there and just crushed it on Jeopardy. Week after week after week after week. I mean, game after game, day after day after day after day. He actually did very good. He actually did very good. And so yeah, he. Oh boy, sorry about that. So yeah, he did he did a pretty good job. And yeah, you can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with that. And but then he fell short and everything at the end, and rest is history. Coming in at number 4, SNL. Saturday Night Live was a big talk during the decade, primarily because of the fact that it's during the decade they celebrated their 40th anniversary, and they brought in Dave Chappelle as a guest host. Adam Sandler came back as a guest host, and just recently, on the before winter vacation, the winter finale, Eddie Murphy. All three of those episodes were great. All three of those episodes were great. They kicked a lot of ass during that decade, and especially the episode with Eddie Murphy. By far, if you have not seen it, it's on Hulu. Go and watch it. It was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious, and you definitely have to watch it. Watch that. You will absolutely love it, and especially fans of Eddie Murphy who watched him on Saturday Night Live in the back in the 80s. It was really, really great. You do not want to miss. You definitely do not want to miss that episode. You really don't. My recommendation. Number 3, Stranger Things. Now, I was criticizing a little bit about Netflix a little bit, but Stranger Things, let's be honest, very good show. We cannot deny that. Brought in a lot of nostalgia. They had a Ghostbusters episode. They had some other episodes as well that they did themes upon. 80s nostalgia. Where can you go wrong? But it was a nice horror series and everything like that. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. That's all you need to know. Coming in at number 2, The Simpsons. Now, it's kind of weird for me putting this on there, but let's be realistic. 2019 was their 30th anniversary. So, It's the longest running animated series of all time. You cannot go wrong with that. You cannot go wrong with that. On putting them on, you cannot say that they do not belong on this list, because they do. And a lot of people don't realize, but Family Guy, 20 years, 20th anniversary. So yeah, this was a really big. So this is a really big deal, especially leading into number one, and that's Disney Plus. Let's face it, 2019 brought us Disney Plus, and we were stoked and everything. And I will say right off the bat, The Mandalorian is a must-watch. It really is. Even if you're not a Star Wars fan, if you're a Star Wars fan, definitely watch The Mandalorian, because this will get you hooked. This will get you hooked, and it will give you a lot of love for the Star Wars franchise. So yeah. Yes, sir. And let's face it, Baby Yoda. It's the child, I know, but everyone's referring to him as Baby Yoda, so we're sticking with it. And of course, The World According to Jeff Goldblum, which is which is also one of my favorites. Definitely worth checking out. Definitely. So, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna breeze right through this. Because this was really tough. Again, this was, this right here was really, really tough. And that is the best and worst of sports of the decade. And so we're going to start with the worst, coming in at number 5. Conor McGregor's behavior outside the octagon. We all know what I'm talking about, because some of you may know what I'm talking about, and that is his behavior when he punched that old man in the face, when he punched that old guy in the face at a local pub in his hometown. And all because of the fact that that the guy did not want a sample of his drink, and he got punched in the face for it. And I talked shit about Conor McGregor already, and he's an asshole. So let's put it that way. And I still stand on my guns that I'm not afraid of him. So he doesn't intimidate me one bit, just because he gets paid to beat the shit out of people. All I have to do is kick him in the nuts, and he goes down like a rock. Just like that. Number 4, Jerry Sandusky. He's had quite a year. I mean, he has quite a. So yeah, he was found guilty, and he was he was a coach for Penn State. Now he's coaching the State Penn. But a bump. So yeah. Number 3, concussions. This was a huge thing coming into the decade. A lot of head injuries were a big thing in football. And so yeah, it was really, really tough, and they're still enforcing rules now, still coming into the new year. But still, this concussion thing is still a big issue, especially from a lot of old players who came out and said that, yeah, there's a problem, and the NFL needs to do something about that. Coming in at number 2, the Patriots. They had a pretty interesting decade, and a lot of it I was joking about. From the Deflategate that happened several years some time ago, that I had no choice but to talk about it and joke about it at my leisure. But um, but yeah, they had a pretty bad season. You know, they've had some ups and downs, and you know the Deflategate was one of them, and of course the whole thing with Bill Belichick that I talked about a few weeks ago. Um, and then of course the whole thing with Roger Ford. So yeah, it's a pretty big deal. It really is a pretty big deal, and I don't know the owner of the Patriots. His last name is Ford, and no, it's not Gerald Ford. Just putting it out there. Okay, coming in at number one, benching Colin Kaepernick. Now, there's going to be this is also a very controversial statement because it pissed me the fuck off because Colin Kaepernick is arguably a damn good quarterback. He really is a quarterback. Very very popular. But ever since he wanted to stand for his beliefs and everything by taking a knee during the national anthem, we can all agree to disagree, whatever. But let's put it this way: Colin Kaepernick is should not be sidelined just because of what he stands for. And everybody was hating on him because of the fact that he became the new that he was a new face for Nike. And a lot of people, on the side note, a lot of people were being stupid when when people were burning their merchandise instead of doing the civilized thing. If they wanted to get rid of it, give it to people, those who donate it to homeless shelters or whatever, or Goodwill or whatever. But a lot of people were just setting them on fire because they didn't want nothing to do. They didn't want nothing to do with it, so they rather set it ablaze. Fuck you for thinking that. And that's being real, for real. Just because Colin Kaepernick is not he's a damn good. What's wrong with him speaking his mind? What's wrong with that? You gotta shit all over him just because he's taking a knee. And Donald Trump was doing the same thing too, instigating the incident. So fuck the fans who waste their money by burning their shit, because I have no sympathy for stupidity, and for Donald Trump for sticking his 2 cents in too. Fuck you both. The best in sports decade. Coming in at number 5, Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. That was a damn good boxing match. I did actually happen to see that. It was awesome. It was actually a really good fight. And especially when Mayweather won, which made it even better. Honorable mention, KSI versus Logan Paul 2. Where KSI beat the shit out of Logan Paul. That's probably the reason why Logan Paul got caught sucking dick. Because he couldn't feel nothing in his teeth, so he just had to numb the area by sticking cock in the mouth. I'm sorry, but I'm going to continue hating on Logan Paul. You can be a fan of Logan Paul all you want, but I don't give a shit. I hate his fucking guts. That's me being real. Number 4, the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, there's a reason why I put this on this list, because of the fact that in 2019 they did something really, really nice. For where they came from, and that was they did a game in they did a game one of their games wearing Whalers jerseys. Now, if you remember, Hartford, the Whalers used to play here in Connecticut under the name of the Hartford Whalers, and they were the heart. They were basically the heart of Connecticut, and they had a great theme song, which is still played to this day. They actually played it at this vintage tour. I mean, at this vintage game that they did, this throwback game, where the Hurricanes dressed all in Whalers jerseys, and honoring those who were going into the Hockey Hall of Fame, which was the original Hartford Whalers, including my favorite, Ron Francis. So yeah. So yeah, it was very emotional. I happened to saw that game. It got me watching hockey again. And big shout out to the Carolina Hurricanes. Thank you very much for bringing back for my love of hockey. Number 3, the Boston Red Sox. You're welcome, David. Now, I always ragged about Red Sox. Not much, but I got to give credit where credit is due. When they won the World Series during this decade, during the last decade, during the 2010s, they had a pretty good year. They really did. They had a pretty good season and everything, and even what happened to David Ortiz, and I'm glad that he's doing okay. Thank you for that. But yeah, the Boston Red Sox had a pretty good, very good season that year. So yeah. But in 2019, they had a pretty rocky year. They had a struggling season. So what's this? Hopefully 2020 it could turn around so that Yankees and Red Sox can go at it again. So we'll see. We'll soon see what happens. Coming in at number 2, LeBron James. Now, again, I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for it, but I don't care. Like I said, it's my list. And so yeah, LeBron James is a damn good basketball player. You cannot deny that. His stats are in competition with Michael Jordan, and you cannot argue with those statistics. You cannot. LeBron James is a well-respected ball player. It doesn't matter what team he goes for. Stop hating on the guy. I mean, he may not be playing for your home team and everything like that, but still, you cannot deny the fact that he's a damn good ball player. You cannot. We haven't seen a ball player like that in quite a long time. I mean, nothing against Kobe Bryant, but still, I mean, we're talking about LeBron James here. He's good. He's definitely earned my respect. He really has. He's definitely right up there with Michael Jordan. Just putting it out there. And I'm a Chicago Bulls fan. So, yeah. Okay, number 1. Super Bowl LI. I'm not sure. Don't ask me what Roman numeral that is because I do not want to find out. All you got to know is that I think it's 41. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not good with numbers. I really don't care. But yeah, Super Bowl LI was actually a very good was actually my pick for number 1 because of the fact that it did something that has never been done before, and that was go into overtime. Not to mention that I had no choice but to put Tom Brady and the New England Patriots into the Channel X Hall of Fame that year. So yeah, and so yeah, I have to give, like I said, I have to give credit where credit is due. That game with that Super Bowl game with the Patriots was awesome. I mean, that was one of my favorite Super Bowls of my existence. So yeah, um, so that was the one redeeming quality that I had about the New England Patriots. But they did a very good job. Let's put it that way. Okay, so now we are coming down to the wire, and this is a very long episode. um, I mean, why not? Why not, right? I mean, it's the season finale. It's the decade wrap up. You can't go wrong with that. Um, so the worst in music. So we're gonna be breezing through this list because I'm looking at the time. Yeah, it's getting really late. So, and I don't want to make this into a two-parter. So deal with it. Okay, number 5. Playing Christmas music after Christmas. Okay, we get it. Okay, it's the holiday. It's the holiday season. Okay, we get that. But Christmas is over, folks. Turn off the Christmas music. And while we're at it, here's an honorable mention. It has nothing to do with music, but it goes back to the worst in TV. Hallmark Channel, turn off the Christmas movies. Enough is enough. Okay, you don't have to worry about Lori Loughlin being in one of your specials. She's not going to be in it because she's a jailbird now. So let's give it a rest. Jesus, how many Christmas movies are we going to see on the Hallmark Channel with Candace Cameron in there? Jesus Christ! I mean, you've gone from Lori Loughlin to Candace Cameron. Who's next? Jodie Sweetin? You're just weeding. Hallmark Channel is really weeding out the Full House cast, aren't they? Who knows? Maybe next time we'll see John Stamos in there, or Dave Coulier, or Andrea Barber, or Scott Winger. I don't know, the guy who voiced Aladdin in the animated version, who played Steve in the original Full House series, who's also in the remake, the reboot, the continuation, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's on their 5th season, for Christ's sakes. Okay, number 4. Mariah Carey botching Someday at a New Year's Eve bash. We all know about this one because it happened a few years ago. She was drunk. And that pissed me off because I wasn't with her. Coming in at number 3, Rolling Stone magazine botching the list. And what do I mean by that? Well, here I will show you. Okay. Okay. This here. You should know exactly what list I'm talking about. And it's the one I have circled. I don't know if you can see it. But yeah. Rolling Stone magazine butchered Joe Cocker's name. Right here. They literally butchered Joe Cocker's name. They censored Joe Cocker. So you cannot... So I guess now you can't say Joe Cocker. Even though I said it like 4 or 5 times in this video. But yeah. So... For now on, we have to say Joe Cocker. There, you happy? You happy, Susie? I censored myself. It's... See, I didn't say Joe Cocker. I said Joe Cocker. So yeah, Rolling Stone magazine botching the list. Coming in at number 2, changing the lyrics to "Cold Outside." Baby, it's cold outside. I'm still listening to the original. I don't give a fuck. And at number 1, people not knowing who Ozzy Osbourne is. That shit pisses me off. If you don't know who Ozzy Osbourne is, then you need to stop being a music fan. I'm just putting it out there. So, yeah. Okay, so this is the last here. Everyone's saying, thank God. Too bad. Okay. Best in Music. Coming in at number 5. And this is for the Best in Music of the Decade. Coming in at number 5, Baby Shark. Come at me at that one because I fucking love that song. I mean, I would sing it, but I don't want to get a copyright strike. Cause YouTube sucks, do 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 do. YouTube sucks, do 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 do. So YouTube sucks, do 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 do. Susie's a bitch. I'm kidding. Jesus Christ. Relax. I'm trying to kiss Susie's ass too, just like Logan Paul and PewDiePie does. Kiss it. Okay, coming in at number 4 is Cardi B. I'm sorry, but I like Cardi B. I mean, really, she's really hot, you know. I mean, god damn, it was like she's even a stripper too. She was a stripper, and yeah. Plus, I like that Bodak Yellow. I love that song. I mean that You can fuck with me if you wanted to. These expensive. These is red bottom. These are bloody shoes. I don't care. I have a soft spot. I have a soft spot for that song. I love that song. I don't want to dance. I want to make money moves. Come on, Susie. I want to make money moves. Okay, coming at number 3, Billie Eilish. She's another hottie, and then she just recently turned 18, so yeah. Yes, right. She just turned 18, so it's legal. And I honestly did not know that she was 17 when I heard one of her songs, which is Bad Guy. And yeah, I guess you could say that, after finding out that Billie Eilish turned 18, I'm a bad guy. Donnie, you okay? Rabble, 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 rabble. Number 2, Lady Gaga. She had a very good 2018, which she had a transition of 2018, which transcended over to 2019. She had a very good year, with her song "Shallow," which of course won her not only a Grammy, but also it also got her the Oscar and Golden Globes. So kudos to Lady Gaga. And at number 1, that needs no introduction, and that's Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You," being the number 1 all-time Christmas song by the Billboard charts. And I still stand behind my guns on that. After, as mentioned on last week's, that I still want Mariah Carey. Yes, I do. Especially in that body, especially with that suit that she wore. Yeah. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, that's it for that list. And that was your top 5. Top 5 dozen. I'm kidding. But yeah, we had a pretty good 2019 ourselves here, and I'll touch base a little bit of it about that. I did a little bit throughout the show, so I don't want to make this about myself. But we had a pretty good 2019, and I thank you all for being a part of it. As far as subscribers go, which we broke into the hundreds this year, and I was fortunate, and I was proud to do a live stream to dedicate that as a thank you. I actually had a lot of fun playing. Pinball FX 3 blindfolded. And I want to plan on doing that again. I really do. I actually had a lot of fun with that. Doing the Who's Tommy challenge. That was actually really good, and that was the first time I ever did those type of challenges like that. So if you have any gaming challenges that you want me to do, let me know, and I'll try to do my best that I can to make that happen. So yeah, we actually, we had a pretty good, with as far as subscribers go. Thank you so much for face hugging that subscribe button during the 2019 year. Um, as I said, and of course the amount of views that we got actually broke into the 10,000s past few weeks ago. Again, a huge thank you again. And 2020's 2020's here, and we're gonna have a new season on Thursday. So we're gonna start up the new season on Thursday. So don't you dare miss that. Gonna kick off our new season. I want to try to put the some original shows up on there. If not full episodes, just maybe like a clip video, so that you can keep the speed of what I used to do back in my cable access days. I've been trying to, but it's very difficult because of course with the music and everything like that. So it's kind of difficult. Quick apology for not doing as much Wrestling Prime videos as I wanted to in 2019. But that will change coming up into the new year. Because Royal Rumble is coming up, and I have some projects for Wrestling Prime as well too. Making like another show, catered to wrestling. So who knows? I kind of leaked about letting the cat out of the bag, so to speak, about trying on podcast. I'm going to try to do it for the year 2020. If I can't, then maybe 2021 will be the lucky number for me. So I want to try to be very busy. I'm going to be focusing a lot on this channel into the new year and everything. And of course, I'm going to be doing another guest appearance. I'm going to be doing another guest appearance on Absolute Talk and everything. I'm going to be trying to go to conventions, a lot more conventions in 2020. Of course, I want to try to go to Kineticon. I want to try to go to Terrificon as well too, as well as going back to Horror Fest and Retro World Expo. So, because I had a lot of fun on those, and so yeah, we'll see what happens as far as that goes. But yeah, thank you guys so much for making this channel here a really good year for us. We had some, we did have some, with the ups, we also had our downs. Of course, we all know about the whole thing with Loot Crate, and that pretty much took a big hit on me, but we still survived, even after the unboxings that we did, and it was pretty tough, and it was sad to see that go. And so if I get, like I said, if I get any boxes, I'll do them. I'll do them, but I mean not loot. That's not Loot Crate, but if there happens to be any boxes, that I pick up at the stores or anything like that, I mean I'll give them a shot and everything. So I mean it's hard to say. So we'll see. But thank you guys so much for the love and support that you have given me in 2019, and let's continue on that, and and let's bring in 2020 with a lot more subscribers and a lot more fun and everything. So yeah, here's 2020. Big thank you to all that. That's pretty much all the time I have for today, and I know that we had a really long episode, so it's going to take forever. I think it's going to be a while before that finally uploads to my channel. But when you do, be sure to follow me while you're waiting for, be sure to follow me on Twitter at TomDog247. And if you miss any of tonight's episode, you can check it out as soon as I turn off the camera. If you're new to this channel, leave a like and comment down below. Comment down below. What was your best of what was your best and worst of 2019? And so yeah, what was your best and worst of 2019? There are no right and wrong answers, Everybody can agree to disagree. And ringy dingy that bell so you can stay notified of what I'm going to be doing next. And since you hit the since you thumbs up the video, comment down below, ringy dingy that bell. Being new to this experience, be a part of this family, and face hug that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for a wonderful 2019. We will see you all again on Thursday when we start a brand new season of Channel X. Until then, this is Tom Dog saying take care, so long, peace, love, and Happy New Year.